Say that this is a guy that you're going to be looking to play 75 games on a regular basis. If you're Philly, you're trying to get about probably 55 to 62 games out of Embiid every season, get him keep him healthy and fresh for the playoffs, and then allow him to take over after that.
Edgecombe can't get that one to go, and he started 0 for 6, missing all 4 from three-point range. Bona gives it away to Sean Gilbert out of Iowa State, undrafted rookie. A big part of TJ Otzelberger's team, although injured heading into the NCAA tournament, which was a big loss for the Cyclones. Straight away 3, Jamir Watkins, no. Wizards by 9. Only allowed 4 points as Philly continues to struggle from the floor. Just 1 for 15 to begin.
Philly just can't get it going. Like I said, in these type of situations, if you're Philly, I mean, you just got to get some type of execution, maybe some easy plays, maybe some elbow action, some back doors. You want to get anything easy and right in front of the rim.
Something to get this heated up. Summer League action continues tonight on NBA TV, ESPN, and the ESPN app. Tonight on ESPN, we have the Blazers and Pelicans, that at 10 Eastern. NBA TV tonight, Warriors and Grizzlies, that at 10:30 Eastern. ESPN2 tomorrow, you have the Kings and Cavs, followed by Bucks and Bulls, that at 5:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Slauson at the free throw line.
Like I said, Philly was only 5 points. They're playing some very tough offense right now to watch. The only thing that's helping them out is that the Wizards haven't been a great offensive team in this game as well.
And late shot clock. Edgecombe defending on ball. Gilbert cuts. Floater. Back of the rim. And Bona secures. Slauson, who played last year with the Orlando Magic G League. Hood Shafino off the screen. He leads for Slauson. And there's just a lid on that left basket. Wizards team now will look to make an improvement from their 18-win season a campaign ago.
And this is where Philly needs to score right now. In transition, get an easy one.
Bona!
There you go.
Throws it down, much needed. Just their second field goal of the first quarter. Jonathan Pierre from Belmont gets rid of it and hits the deck. And then Bona pleads his case. This has had a physical start. On one end of the floor, Edgecombe hit a couple of times across the head.
I'm not sure what's going on here, but they're talking about something.
Well, they get the personal there, get that sorted out. Shot clock, game clock, nearly the same. Kadari Richmond bullies inside, uses the up fake. Not taking their runners off, and Edwards with 3 seconds. Maluma, and that'll do it for a rush shooting opening quarter. For Philly, just 2 for 18 from the floor. Wizards were just 4 of 15. They have the 6-point lead.
Skipping breakfast wasn't a big deal before.
I got you.
But now?
of all, I know slow offensive start for your team, but you guys are getting some good looks. How do you find a few to fall now this second quarter?
I think we just got to keep taking a wide open shots. Eventually they're going to start falling, and we talk about good defense. I think we'll get back in the game like that.
I know for you personally, in your sophomore season, you wanted to focus not only on your game, but also on your leadership, using your voice. How have you been able to do that here so far in Summer League?
I think this is a good learning ground for me to be able to do it in the Summer League and transfer into the season. So to communicate to guys, regardless if they're older than me or younger, I got to be able to communicate with them on the same level.
Dem, appreciate the time. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
And it's great that Lauren asked about the communication from Adem Bona. His teammates have joked about his voice, and you can hear it there, how it just cuts through the noise at whatever gym they're in.
Yes, indeed. I tell you, hey, Chris, can you do me a favor and close the window up top from that last shot?
It's been the theme so far, both sides. Shooting poorly, Edgecombe climbs the ladder here in his Vegas debut to get that rebound. No look dime, Aluma throws it down with two.
There we go. Now finally maybe Philly would get something going. Sometimes a big-time dunk like that will spark your team and just get you off of that bad energy and get you into a good flow.
Golagak into the game for the Wizards. Here's Gilbert. Uses the up fake. Counted off the glass. And one.
I like that drive by Gilbert. You see him right here driving, very confident. Understands Bone is a shot blocker, so he's got to show him the ball first. If you go straight up, he's gonna block that. Show him the rock, get him up in the air, go into the big fella's body, and now you're at the free throw line.
And does complete the three-point play. Gilbert, originally from Nevada, playing here in his state where he played high school hoops. Edwards on the drive and whistle on the contact by the screen. Rich being called. Wizards in this game without Trey Johnson, Alex Sarr, Bob Carrington, members of our team that we've seen in Summer League here in Vegas, the first couple, including Trey Johnson, who was the 6th pick in the most recent draft. And he showed why in his 2 games that he's played so far with his ability to score no matter what level he's at.
I'm telling you, as we see a nice three-point shot right there from Luma in the corner, I really like the pick, though. I like what the Wizards got in Trey Johnson. This young man can score the basketball, knows how to shoot it, has a good feel for offense. And when you talk to people around him, he's almost a better person than he is a basketball player. You need as many of those guys as possible. As you see VJ Edgecombe make the assist that led to the three-point shot by Luma in the corner. Philly definitely needs a lot more of that. But getting to my point about the Wizards, players like Trey Johnson that are incredible players and incredible people, that is how you change the trajectory of your franchise, because you're getting a really good player and a guy that affects culture as well.
Led the SEC in scoring, nearly 20 points per game. Oh, that goes towards the rim, and Broom rotates late over. Aluma in the vicinity as well. Free throws.
Losing his identity.
To your point, Broom
and my left knee don't work too good.
But I heard you talking about your knees yesterday. I don't know if I want to see you even try it at this point.
Hey, I can jump higher than Broom. I tell you that much. I don't want to play against him. But if we're just doing strictly vertical, I promise you, Chris, I can jump higher than Broom.
Absolutely. When he commits the foul here, you can see his numbers at Auburn. I got your side. I got your back.
See, I knew you would take my side.
And again, he was one of the best players in college basketball for an Auburn team that was ranked #1 through a good chunk of the season. Had some big games in the NCAA.
He's passing to. And that's what I like about his game is that when he would get that ball in the low block, he would create a problem. If the doubles would come, you would see some over-the-shoulder passes, some great passes to the weak side. So he has a lot of skills. He has a lot of skills.
And he has been shooting the three well at Summer League here in Vegas and back at Salt Lake. So trying to get more consistent with that part of his game.
And that's what the Summer League is about. For a guy like Broom, you have to prove to the rest of the league that you can, as we see. The footwork, you see him drive inside, the patience, the big body. That's what he does really, really well. Has a great feel inside. Excellent footwork also.
We saw it there, lining up the spin.
Oh, wow.
Richmond.
That was incredibly short. That wasn't just short, it was incredibly short.
Your reactions to shots that are nowhere close. What a spin, count it for Judah Mintz. He'll head to the line.
Janai Broom with the spin cycle, getting right to the rim. And then we see Mintz with the 360 layup. And we got a tie ball game, Chris.
game. A couple of points, 4 boards. You're going to see his profile. Started out at Morehead State, transferred to Auburn, and really helped elevate Bruce Pearl's squad.
Yes, indeed. He's got to be one of the biggest transfers ever. What he was able to do, stepping over, transferring to Auburn, and really uplifting the program. You know, he was just incredible. Like I said, almost was player of the year. Team spent a lot of time at number 1. Went to the Final Four.
It's a fantastic season in that tough SEC, Lauren.
Absolutely. And guys, you know, he already has a legendary fan in his corner. During the Final Four, Charles Barkley said, I just want to say that Broome is one of the greatest basketball players in Auburn history, and he can't wait to go down when his jersey gets retired there. And fittingly, guys, Broome and Barkley are the only Auburn players ever drafted by the Sixers, so he's not in bad company there.
Right there, that's a fantastic note. As he was the 2nd-round pick. And with Philadelphia, Brendan, you know the importance of having rotation caliber big men.
Yes.
When your starting center is quite often an injury question mark.
Listen, if you're Janai Broome, if you can knock, like I said, if you can knock down some three-point shots, you will have an opportunity to play, because we know that Joel Embiid has been known to miss time, and more importantly, Philadelphia is going to give him some of those rest days as well. They're not going to want to have him playing on back-to-backs and things of that nature with his injury history. So if you're a big man and you're playing for Philadelphia, there will be games where you will get starts and lots of heavy minutes as Broome throws down the dunk inside.
A 9-0 Sixers run, and they have the 2-point lead.
Who thought we would be here a couple minutes ago?
First lead of the game. Johnson no on a 3, and Mint scoops it up. Broome wants 3. Give him 3 with his college coach watching. Bruce Pearl, Janai Broome starring in Vegas. Timeout Wizards. 12 straight for Philly. And it's the experienced college star hitting the 3.
Tell you what, as we see Philadelphia coming out a little bit of a zone, and Leaky Black takes advantage inside and gets back to Oubre. Oubre is somebody that's super underrated in this league. A lot of people don't realize he's averaged over 15 the last 3 seasons. 2 years at right about 15, and 1 year, his last year in Charlotte, he averaged 20 points a game. So he doesn't get his just due a lot of times, but Oubre's been quietly having a very solid game.
I know his 3-point percentage the last couple of years hovering around just 30%, so that's one area of his game. Playing off of stars in Philly, if everyone's healthy, he wants to get that part of his game elevated.
Definitely, but he does a lot of things defensively, gets out in transition. He does a lot of things there. That's where he really likes to star in that role.
Could be competing with Justin Edwards if things go the youngster's way. Edwards for 3, front of the rim. Aluma Battling for the rebound with Liam Robbins, who got off to a great start for Washington with 2 first-quarter threes. Robbins gets called for the foul. We'll send Aluma to the line. He was the first player in this game to reach double figures, 10 points. Connected on a couple of threes.
Yeah, and Aluma has really been key for this Philadelphia run. We saw in the first quarter they were really stuck in mud, couldn't really get anything going, and then next thing you know, Aluma starts heating up, makes his presence felt, and now we got ourselves a little bit of a ball game.
Hunter Salas with a team-high 37 minutes on Saturday. The Sixers lost to the Hornets. He's back in. Wizards on Sunday. Fun game against the Nets. Have to win 102-96. Almost like a whole new group playing in this one.
Oh, yeah.
Alex Sarr looked really good defensively last game for Washington. Robbins, step back three. Denied room right in his face in a shot clock violation.
That's great defense by Rome. Understand that Robbins has that three-point range if he has the feet set. So you got to challenge him and make him move before he takes that shot.
Bonham back in for the Sixers. For Alex Sarr, we just mentioned him. He's a young big man. You can just see the potential. Former #2 pick. What is it that he needs to do to take the next step?
He has to figure out what's going to make him special in this league. He's the #2 pick. Obviously, there's a lot of big-time expectations, but, as we see a really strong foul right there by Johnson. But if you're a guy like Sarr, you have to figure out, is it going to be my defensive effort? Am I going to be a three-point shooter? Am I going to be a big-time shot blocker? What is going to separate you from your opponent on a nightly basis, and what can you do at an elite level?
And you're a former big man. How long did that take you?
Not long. I couldn't score. So, I knew I had to offensive rebound, and play defense. Anything else, I was going to be sitting beside the coaching staff.
Just saw Sarr's numbers.
Sarr has a lot more talent than me, so he has a lot more options. It's a little bit of a tougher decision. My decision of what type of player I was going to be was made for me.
Yeah, that kind of tool. Again, his ability to shoot at high volume. I know the three-point percentage wasn't as high as you'd want necessarily for the number of threes that he takes, but he has that potential to be that rare thing in the game, that stretch five who can block shots on the other end.
Yeah, and like I said, you got to see what you're going to be and how you're going to figure that out.
We'll check in with Lauren.
Yeah, guys, I was actually going to add on that. I just think it's, the rim protection, it isn't all. I feel like he's actively hunting his shots, too, especially the first couple games we saw. But talking about his mindset, he said this past year that every opportunity when you can work on your game, it's a good opportunity. And he says he sees summer league as another opportunity to perfect his game, get reps with the new guys. And I know it takes time, but, it's the growth that you can see in real time. And as years go on, like B, what you were saying, you kind of feel more comfortable, know how to approach it, and then know who you are as a player, too.
And right off that point, Lori, and it's the theme coming out of Washington, whether you're speaking to members of their coaching staff or front office, it's been a long summer so far, and I had a bunch of guys who really wanted to play here in Summer League to get these game reps, and Sarr being one of those.
Yeah, Sarr is a young player in this league. He understands that he needs the reps. He needs to continue to improve. He's not a finished product, and I like when young guys come out here and they want to play in the Summer League. They want to get better.
Leaky Black, halfway down. You said it in the first quarter. If he can get that three-point shot down, we know from his North Carolina days what he's able to do defensively.
Yeah, Leaky Black has really good size, great defensive instincts. Just has to be able to knock down shots on the perimeter.
Some guys just have a knack for getting to the free throw line. And no matter the level, Judah Mintz has been one of those guys. Syracuse has opportunities in the G League, and when he's played here in Vegas at NBA Summer League with the Sixers leading by 6.
Mom! Yeah?
Dylan Jones defensively.
Looks like some watching right there. I don't know, it's going to be a tough call.
Like at one point, he had the hand on the back. Quick to move his hands back.
Like, they're going to call it with the chest, though. Not sure, but we will find out soon.
The replay center is centered here at the Thompson Mac. Sixers missed their first 9 shots in this game from the floor. Down big in the first. Rallied here in the second quarter to take the 6-point lead. Edgecombe still scoreless. 0 for 7 for the number 3 overall pick. Here's the call.
After review, it was determined that the defense player is still moving forward, so the call on the floor is being confirmed as a defense foul on 33. Wizards is out of timeout. Oh, out of challenges. It's out of timeouts for the half.
So foul stands on Jones. On OKC a season ago. Only Wizard with an NBA championship.
You see right there, like it's the bump with the chest moving forward slightly.
Sends Judah Mintz to the free throw line. Undrafted in last year's draft, Mintz spent a couple of years at Syracuse. Had the Carmelo Anthony path of Oak Hill Academy to Syracuse, except it wasn't 1 year in a national championship and on to the NBA. The path did defer at a certain point.
But Mintz had a lot of big-time games in Syracuse. Got a chance to watch him play in the ACC. Had some huge performances.
Bending on ball here, pokes it loose from Watkins. Been a theme throughout Summer League. We're seeing a lot of players pick up 94 feet.
Well, that's how you figure out. That's how you earn your way into a rotation. Most teams have somebody that's going to score the ball. You know, if you're going to make a team, as we see Robinson inside with a nice hand and flip, if you're going to make a team, a lot of times it starts out with just saying, hey, I'm a guard 94 feet. I'm going to be somebody that changes the game with my defensive ball pressure. I know you got guys that can score, but who wants to defend? Those type of guys, those are guys that catch GM's eyes, get invites to training camp and make teams.
It's just saw Watkins get into the face of Mintz and cause the turnover. This game defense, the theme, especially with the way these teams were shooting in the early going.
Started out rough, especially for Philly, but they've turned it around a little bit.
Let's come back in for the Sixers.
I tell you what, Mintz is guarding out there.
Misses Robbins and barely grazes the net.
I see Philly got the memo on Robbins. They have really challenged his last 2 shots well. Knocked down his first 2. And they were wide open, but he hasn't seen a clean look since.
That wasn't a clean pass. It's a step away from Mintz.
That's not what Willie Bona does. Bona is more of a finisher than a passer.
Difference in the second quarter. We highlighted their slow start. Black defended by Edgecombe with Bona rotating over. Leads to 3. Robbins can't get it. Edgecombe transition, pinches the defense. Now 6 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. It's Edwards. Former top 5 high school recruit in his class. Went to Kentucky. Delivers to the corner and a shot blocked. As Mitch tried to line it up. But Jamir Watkins said no. Watkins rejection. And a timeout with 7.8.
Paradise.
Play on a nightly basis. Right now, he just has to lock in. Maybe just see a shot fall, get an easy look, whether that's a wide open 3 or a layup or something. Maybe get some free throws.
And we'll have a profile on Edgecombe coming up at halftime. Richmond with the well-timed steps against the chase with 3 seconds. Watkins steals the inbounds with 1. Oh, it's swatted. Jalen Slauson hammers the shot to end the first half. After the slow start from Philadelphia, they had the 3-point lead at the break. Dylan Jones got the 3-point shot. And you saw what the Wizards' big man Liam Robbins could do on each end. But the Sixers have the lead at the break in Vegas.
My dad's in the NBA.
No way.
It's true.
It's true.
He's never shot a basket or anything, but he hasn't.
May not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
VJ Edgecombe in the first half for the Sixers, scoreless, 0 of 7 from the floor, but you can see how the Baylor product can affect the game without the shot falling, just that sheer athleticism and then the playmaking instincts. And for more on VJ Edgecombe, let's check this out.
VJ, you are known for your athleticism, your dunking, just highlight reel. But there's more to your game.
Yep.
What else should people know about you?
I can shoot the ball. I can play make. I play defense.
You emphasize that. To stick in the league, you got to defend.
For sure.
What is it about defense that you embrace?
I like to see opponents miss shots. I just like make it hell for them. Block shots when I can, or just lock them up. Get some steals, get on the break.
You had some injuries this year. You know, the season didn't end the way you guys wanted. I mean, how would you describe your season at Baylor?
I still feel like we had a good season. Taught me a lot off the court when it comes to like adversity, expect the unexpected. I mean, we was expected to have a good year. I feel like we did, kinda, but we expected to do a lot more. But, you know, injuries and stuff played a part in that. So, you know, it started to throw everything off course, out of rhythm, lineups and stuff like that. So it was a little hard for everyone to just gel.
Born in Florida, raised in the Bahamas. How did your your different stops along the way help shape you to the person you are today?
I feel it helped me a lot just because I was away from family members. So I feel like I had to grow up a little earlier, not having to depend on anybody. I felt like in Florida, it's just with my brother. Then I moved to New York, nobody. Like, I wasn't even sure how cold it was gonna be, like just stuff like that. But overall, it was great. I felt like it allowed me to grow into the man, allowed me to learn.
My goodness, just vicious.
Talk about defense, but like I said, you've had some highlights. What's that adrenaline rush feel like when you flush it?
Sometimes I have reactions, sometimes I don't. Always depend on the flow of the game for me. But, you know, I just be so dialed in sometimes that I won't even react to something that most people would react crazy to. I feel like it's becoming like a second nature type of thing also. Like rare, like it's becoming like almost an every game thing that I do something.
There's a player, pieces of a player that we're going to say, okay, VJ is kind of like XYZ, these guys. Who are they?
And Drew Holiday, young Victor Oladipo kind of, Dwayne Wade.
Why?
Explosiveness. And he's a two-way player also. I feel like he can shoot the ball.
How much did the international summer, the qualifying, how much did that help you?
That helped me a lot because my confidence through the roof after leaving that. I feel like I can compete with anybody on any given night. Doesn't matter who it is. That's what allowed me to go to Baylor and play, even though I have ups and downs. Allowed me to stay the same, keep the same mindset.
Andy Katz with VJ Edgecombe. Las Vegas down the strip. 33-30, Sixers lead as we get ready to start the second half.
Skipping breakfast wasn't a big deal before.
I got you.
But
NBA2K26 Summer League. Getting ready to start the second half with the Sixers leading the Wizards by 3. It was a slow start really from the floor. Each team shooting percentages in the low 30s. Ooh. VJ Edgecombe's a no at the bottom, Brandon. Hasn't scored, 0 for 7 from the floor. We see he is impacting the game in other areas, but struggling shooting in his first game at the Thomas & Mack.
Yeah, VJ Edgecombe hasn't done what we thought he would do from an offensive standpoint, but we do understand that he has missed a lot of time. He's just getting back in there. Couldn't really find the rhythm. If I'm VJ Edgecombe, starting off this half, I'm looking to get a layup or some free throws so I can start feeling good about my offense again.
Bully ball, Edwards. Johnson was not going to get bullied. Somehow Edwards keeps. Shot clock down to 7. Mintz rifles left side. Edgecombe struggles to handle. With 2 to shoot, Worm has to launch. Takes the grenade, doesn't draw anything, and a shot clock violation.
That was an ugly possession for Philly right from the start. Nothing looks smooth at all about that possession. And that's disappointing coming right out of the half.
In the first half, what stood out from the Wizards side?
On the Wizards side, I like what Robbins was able to do as far as getting his jumper off early in the game. And I like obviously their overall team defense as well. So those type of things stood out from the Wizards side of things.
And this is a shooter, Robbins, 7-footer. But after his first 2 have gone, he's had 3 shots from distance that haven't hit the rim.
Well, I liked how his shot looked early. Those first 2 threes he took looked really good, but since then it's been scary hours.
The scouting report is an adjustment. They're closing out on him. Edgecombe spins, sees the lane, elevates, was met at the summit. Hits the deck hard and a whistle. Boy, the jaw-dropping athleticism from the Baylor product.
I tell you what, if Edgecombe would have completed that play, he would have brought the house down. And this is what he does well. Like when he goes down the lane, he is looking for that poster. He is going down that lane with bad intentions.
They had a game early in the season against Gonzaga. They might have had the dunk of the college hoop season right over Mark Few's son.
Yeah, that was
absolutely cleared him.
Yeah, that was terrible. Game was already over too.
The
game was already killed. The game was already out of hand. Baylor was not going to win that game. He didn't have to stun on that man like that.
So the number 3 overall pick gets his first 2 points of the night in Las Vegas. And he played in the first game of the Utah Summer League, had 28 points. Had a thumb sprain that he realized after the game, missed the final 2, and then the first 2 for the Sixers in Vegas. Chiseling mid-range.
And that's the one thing about VJ Edgecombe. Like I said, he does have a lot of great physical tools and intangibles. But when you watch him play, he's not that, as they say, he's not one of those guards that likes to boogie. You know, there's some guys, like you watch a Kyrie Irving, he's just a master, a wizard with the ball there. He can do everything with the rock. Not sure was that a pass or a shot.
Johnson says it was mine all the way.
Listen, Johnson was 1 for 6 up until that point, so he'll take it. But getting back to VJ Edgecombe kind of reminds me of what Suggs gives Orlando, where he's a downhill driver, excellent defender, as we see Broome with an excellent pass to Bone inside. Love the big action. But that's where I see VJ Edgecombe. You're not going to ask VJ Edgecombe to initiate offense just yet at this stage in his career.
Well, let's take a look at the Sixers backcourt as of now. You mentioned Tyrese Maxey, all-star a couple of seasons ago. Who could have been the Rookie of the Year, or at least a contender when he was healthy, and Jared McCain. Quentin Grimes, currently a restricted free agent, but the Sixers expected to retain. Edgecombe glides. He just has a different step to him.
Yeah.
He'll head back to the line.
And that's what he does well. Straight line, when he gets that straight line drive, he can attack the rim, hangs in the air, contorts, really strong and physical. He brings something different to this team, though. Like you said, you mentioned those guards. When you talk about Maxey, you talk about McCain, you talk about Grimes, you really talk about all those guys on the offensive end. I'm really excited for what this guy can do on the defensive end. And I think that's going to be his calling card early on. And that's what's going to set him apart from those guys and get him on the floor early.
Perfect on that free throw. Here's a look at what we have as a projected depth chart for the Sixers. And you can see right there, 3 guards right at the top with Maxey, Grimes, and Edgecombe.
Yeah. Not sure if this is going to be the starting lineup, obviously, but it could work out that way. I think I would like to see Edgecombe more at the 2 right now than the 3.
Daryl Morey, the Sixers president of basketball operations, he did mention that it'll be up to Nick Nurse to determine these roles for the Sixers heading into training camp. It could be almost a difference of what it's been the last couple of years, where there will be rotation minutes at stake on how they do in the preseason leading up to the opener.
Yeah, because this team is trying to figure out who's going to go where, how everything fits together. As you see Bone inside with the foul. So this isn't going to be a training camp where it's like, hey, everybody knows coming in, everything's set. You know, if you're a guy like McCain, I understand you almost Rookie of the Year last year, but VJ Edgecombe doesn't care anything about that. You know, a guy like Grimes had some really good games after the Dallas trade, so he's going to want to get his minutes as well. So there's going to be some guys on this Philly team that are going to have to fight for their position, and it's going to be interesting. I think those are some of the better teams, and guys have to go out there and fight for their stuff.
Just saw Nick Nurse It was a nightmare season for Philadelphia a year ago, hoping for something different. A.J. Johnson showing off the three-point touch. First made 3 in this game. He has 7.
Right here, A.J. Johnson reading the defense. Bona, I'm not sure if Bona knew the coverage or if there was a miscommunication. It looked like it was a switch, and then Bona left Johnson. Johnson read that right away and knocked down the 3.
Mintz probes. Sets up Slauson. Can't get the 3 off. Edgecombe with a mismatch and muscles that one through with blinding speed. And that ball was on the edge for VJ Edgecombe.
He took Robbins right away. We saw in the first half he had that same switch, and Hood Schifino brought his defender over there. This time, Edgecombe didn't wait. He saw Robbins on him and went right to work.
First field goal has come out second half aggressively. Sixers forced a turnover, looking for their first win of Vegas Summer League. Mintz's pokes. Active hands offensively from Leaky Black. A former Tar Heel as Watkins comes crashing towards us. Hey, Brandon Haywood, you need to be my bodyguard on these kind of collisions courtside.
Hey, listen, I want no smoke. Any type of collisions courtside, I'm getting out of there. As we see Edgecombe going up for the Thunder's dunk. Doesn't quite throw it down the way he wants to, but I still like the drive, attacking the big.
His takeoff point. It's just like he is walking through the air.
Yeah, like he looks like every time he attacks the basket, he looks like he's just shot out of a cannon.
Well, he'll take a seat. Hunter Salison. Bona from the weak side sends it away from Johnson. Wizards recover.
That's the second or third big-time block Bona's had in this game, as we see Jones with a nice J.
Dylan Jones from the mid-range. Philly by 2. Bruce Pearl, coach of Auburn. He'll join us coming up next.
We're all unreasonable.
Second-round pick for the Sixers. His coach, Bruce Pearl of Auburn, is with Lauren Zabara.
Thanks so much, Chris. Yeah, Bruce is taking the time to grace us with his presence on our air right now. How you doing?
Lauren, I'm doing great, man. It's so much fun to watch my Chennai Broom out there playing for the 76ers. I'm proud of him.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You're such an instrumental part of all of your players' growth, not only on the court, but also as people, too. What are the 76ers getting in a guy like Chennai?
They're getting a great teammate. A guy that wants to win. He wants to compete. And I think it's important for coaches to continue to come and support their players, even if they get no more eligibility. We would not be in the Final Four without Chennai Broom. And there's no better way I can say thank you to him and his family than to keep coaching him.
That's what I was going to say is, you know, what did he mean to you as a player, too? Because I know that these players are always so special, and everyone brings just a different, you know, thing to your team, to your organization. What did he mean to you personally, and what was that relationship like between the two of you?
Well, I think the biggest thing is he represented the name on the front of a jersey, and the name of the back of the jersey. He cared about Auburn basketball, but he also cared about the Broome family and knew where he came from. He's a guy that was always overlooked, and he didn't let that, he played with a chip on his shoulder, and as long as he keeps that chip and stays humble and hungry, he's going to have a long career in the NBA.
Yeah, he's so much fun to watch, especially during that run. And I know there's a lot for you guys to build on with Auburn. What are you looking forward to next year, next season?
I got a whole new squad, and we got a lot of pieces to replace, but faith and family is our culture. We were calling God all year long and giving him all the glory, and so you got to sort of establish that again. What's our work ethic going to be? Getting a team to start to bond in the summertime. They get to know each other. One of the things about building these NBA rosters are these rosters that turn over all the time. You have very little chance to win championships. You've got to go through some stuff and learn from year to year. And that was what made our team this last year so good. We had a bunch of vets. And so the teams with the most vets in the NBA are the teams going to win championships.
Charles Barkley said that Janai is the best Auburn player of all time. I said, Chuck, that's coming from you, too. Usually he's pumping himself up,
That's because Charles recognizes championships. He recognizes rings. But how humble and hungry it is for a guy like Charles Barkley, who was one of the top, 25 players to ever play the game, to say that Janai Broome was the best player. And he didn't want to have any argument about it because, 2 SEC championships, National Player of the Year, Final Four.
Yeah.
I agree with Charles. He's had the greatest impact of anybody in Auburn basketball history.
And last quick one, do you get any time off in the summer or no?
Just out there in the yard a little bit, Notice the color they got going on, right?
Got a tan.
A little bit of a tan. I like to cut the grass and, playing a little bit. Maybe a little time at the pool. Not enough time on the golf course.
Yeah, we know none of us get enough time on the golf course. Bruce, I really appreciate your time. Enjoy watching your kid play.
Okay, thanks, Lauren. Good to see you again.
You too, guys.
Well, that's Bruce Pearl. We thank him for joining us as Watkins gets another run out for the Wizards.
That serious tan action going on. He's definitely been outside.
It's at the yard work.
Yeah.
There was a lot of light work for Broome this past season at Auburn. It was right up there with Cooper Flagg for the Player of the Year. And while his coach was talking, Broome hit a 3 straight away. Also got a board on the other end. So showing what he did at Auburn, which was rebound extremely well. But hitting threes and showing that growth of his game. Shot some at Auburn, but more coming to carve out that role in the NBA.
Yeah, and Broome has played very well today. He has 10 points, shot 4. He's shooting 4 of 7 from the field, 2 of 4 from the three-point line. So you like what he's put out there, like the energy, the effort, and more importantly, I like the fact that he's knocking down those threes. I think that's going to be essential to how long he plays in this league.
Edwards at the free throw line. We'll notice one of the things you see in Vegas this year compared to maybe even previous years, more college coaches out here, with this really being the center of the basketball universe, and of course agents around, and now they're more of a factor in the college game just as much in the NBA game, with the differences in the NIL game at the college level.
Yeah, like you said, these college coaches are definitely at Summer League a lot now. First of all, they have to be, because you said they have so many guys as far as with the agents and working deals and getting those type of things done for current players that are on the roster and guys that could be on the roster in the future. And then you're also coming here to support your guys. As we see a travel right there by Hood Schifino. Like, I love Bruce Pearl being here today to watch and support Janai Broome. And he said, hey, I owe it to this kid. And I think a lot of college coaches get it twisted. They think the kids owe the university something. But a lot of times you have to look at what the kids bring to the university, the eyeballs that were brought to Auburn, the recruits and the guys that are going to want to play there, the magical Final Four run, the memories that Broome brought to that program. He brought a lot to the table, and I love the fact that Bruce Pearl is here supporting and acknowledging that.
Indeed. Broome, one of the contenders for the Player of the Year a season ago. Meanwhile, A.J. Johnson has turned it up here in this second half for the Wizards. It was a first-round pick by the Bucks last year. He was a part of that Kyle Kuzma, Chris Middleton trade at the deadline, which is one of the interesting things about this Wizards roster. You still have those veterans on the team, combined with the young players, including Trey Johnson, Bub Carrington, Keyshawn George, Alex Sarr, all who we've seen, Will Riley here in Vegas. So it'll be a fun dynamic to see how that situation sorts itself out.
Well, I think that's a very smart move by the Wizards. And I'm going to tell you why. If you think about what the Houston Rockets were a couple of years ago, they were a very young team that had a lot of young, talented players, but there wasn't a lot of veteran leadership. So sometimes there was unprofessionalism, as we see AJ missed that one right there. Great defense by Broome. Sometimes there was bad shot selection. There wasn't discipline on that Houston Rockets team because everybody was young. There was nobody that could command to be the voice of the locker room. I like the fact that the Wizards, we have our young guys that we know are going to be our core, but we have some veterans that can still play, that have played at a high level in this league, that will set the temperature and the culture of what the locker room will be. A guy like Chris Middleton, who has championship experience, he's not the same Chris Middleton, but he can go out there and show these guys and lead these guys. Culture is huge. As a matter of fact, that's something that Coach was talking about as well. He was talking about the culture.
C.J. McCollum, Marcus Smart.
I tell you what, Bona has been absolutely incredible defensively.
Vortex at the rim. Hood Schifino probes. His bounce pass is taken away by Deshaun Gilbert.
That's a tough bounce pass. Anytime you're on one side of the paint, you try to throw a bounce pass all the way through the other side. It better be wide open if you're going to try that one, young fella.
Wizards within one. And Pierre lost it and was knocked away. Tight game, third quarter. Adem Bona has been swatting shots inside for the Sixers.
Americans, we can do anything we want, except one thing.
Transmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
Alex Sarr looking to become that defensive anchor, as well as showing that offensive upside for a Wizards team coming off of an 18-win season a year ago. We can see, though, the reasons why. It's an exciting time to be a Wizards fan. You can invest in a lot of these young players while also there's some veterans on the team. You know,
say what?
Looking at me like Trey Johnson, he's an exciting player to watch. Koulibaly's rookie year, Alex.
I'm saying,
so if you're a fan,
what do you mean by it's an excited time?
Because you can see young players grow. That's what hope. You can get some hope.
Keep hope alive.
Yes.
That's what we're going to do. Exciting. Right now, it is an interesting time because as a Wizards fan, you get to see the young players develop and you get to figure out in real time and watch who's going to turn into your next superstar of tomorrow.
I think that the point I'm making is for a while there, the Wizards have grown.
Like it's an exciting
inside to get to.
It's an exciting time to be like an OKC fan.
No doubt. It was talk about an exciting last 2 years. But for the Wizards, as you can see, Janai Broome.
That's nice right there.
Using his size.
Big body bucket.
Like he's at Auburn. That is his Auburn playbook. But it felt like the Wizards for a few years there, a little bit directionless, you know, not as... frankly, not poor enough to have the record that you get a young player with that kind of upside, but also not good enough where they're contending for playoff spots. At least now, it feels like you have guys who, as a fan base, you can start to invest your time and energy into watching and seeing them grow.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely have that. Like I said, Bud Carrington, Alex Sarr. I think Trey Johnson's going to be special. I think that with the way that he understands how to score and shoot the ball, not a great athlete, but he just has everything else outside of that when it comes to scoring the ball on the offensive end. So I think that this Wizards team definitely has some good young pieces, and we're going to see who's going to step up and who's going to get the Wizards fan base to those exciting times that you think they're at right now.
I'm gathering you're not much of a fan of like cooking your own food. You like takeout, right? You like the result. You don't like necessarily the process of.
No. I mean, yeah, I'm not really. You see Edgecombe throw it down. I'm not really a cook myself. I'm not a chef. I'm an Uber Eats type of guy.
Exactly.
You know
want the result.
I'm gonna call it in.
There's Edgecombe. Yeah, just using his bunnies to get into the air quickly and throw it down. A couple of field goals in 9 attempts. He has 8 points. Take another look at Edwards to Edgecombe.
That's it. Edgecombe, just the athleticism. He is a next level athlete. He jumps through the air. He's just gliding, and it's like just so effortless.
One of the highest verticals, the NBA Combine, and you could see it all year long. Game in and game out with Baylor, Coach Scott Drew. Gilbert, and that's the defense that you're excited about from Edgecombe. And swats it just for good measure. And there's that trademark smile as well.
Yes, that's what's going to get him on the court. That's what's going to get him on the court. Plays like this right here. Look, sliding the feet, doesn't stop there. Defends, blocks the shot with both hands, doesn't foul. Gotta love it. Like, this is excellent textbook defense, and this is why Philly drafted him number 3. Because when you put him beside a guy like Maxey, now you say, hey, Maxey, don't worry about being forced to guard anybody. We're going to let Edgecombe take the other team's toughest wing player. All we need you to do is focus on scoring.
Bounce pass to a cutting Mintz. Zona Skies, last touch by Washington. Mentioned Edgecombe, number 3 pick. 3 picks later on the Wizards side was Trey Johnson. Those two good friends. That Edgecombe had an interview with NBA TV on draft day with Taylor Rooks. Of course, got a lot of attention. He mentioned how his family lived off a generator for 7 years. But if you watch that full interview, at the start of it, Trey Johnson was in the process of getting drafted, and Edgecombe kind of put a pause to the interview because he wanted to stand up. Stand up with Bona. Lets a roar go as he slams that one through.
Man, Bona, say it with your chest.
But Edgecombe wanted to make sure he supported Trey Johnson when he had his moment being drafted by Washington.
This tells you what type of person he is. Obviously, he's doing his interview, and it's his time to shine, but he sees his boy get drafted, and he wants to support his guy, show love.
Flicks ahead. Edwards baseline. Oh, he lost it. On a bounce, shakes his hand. With 3.3 to go in the third.
Look, right, this play right here by Bona. Driving from the 3-point line, taking the contact, and finishing with the glory. I thought that was a little bit of an and one.
3 quarters complete. From the Thomas and Mack Center. Philadelphia leads by 6.
When Superman is off saving the day, DQ is here with a $7
more fearless every game, just like, trying new things and just believing in myself, betting on myself and my teammates every game.
AJ, keep believing in yourself.
Appreciate it.
Guys.
Well, Brendan, you've mentioned a few times the athletic ability of Edgecombe, but I feel like A.J. Johnson on that side, he's a special athlete too.
Yeah, A.J. Johnson's definitely a big-time athlete. I remember watching him from actually Milwaukee last year in the summer league, and he made some plays where I was like, oh, this kid got some bounce to him. He's got some giddy-up.
Excellent job. Black got his paw on that one before the alley-oop attempt.
Like I said, in this fourth quarter, which one of these teams is going to solve the three-point mystery quicker? Because right now we have Philadelphia shooting 6 of 22 from 3. And the Wizards shooting 6 of 24. So the first team that gets a couple of quality looks from 3 and is able to knock them down, I think that's going to be the team that ends up being victorious.
So like most of those makes came in the second quarter for both of these teams. Mintz went in the air without a plan.
That's never a good thing.
Kicked in transition. Like Tyrese Halliburton. He was doing that on the regular through the Pacers playoff run, jumping in the air and then figuring it out when he got there, but he always seemed to do it.
This is true, and Mintz is not Tyrese Halliburton. And so, you have to have a certain level of confidence, skill to be able to get up in the air and just make it happen on the fly. Most of the time, your coach is going to tell you actually not to do that.
But there's Salas, his ball in there on a two-way with the Sixers. Broom lines up another one. He's looked good on his prior attempts. Not that time. Johnson ahead. Slams it down.
He said this young man is a big-time athlete. You saw it right there. Real bouncy in transition. No wasted motion as he threw it down.
Former 5-star high school product who ended up playing in Australia. Part of a mid-season trade. Now a member of the Wizards. Broom over the head pass. Perimeter rotation. Mintz bounces. Broom receives. He's been strong in this game with Bruce Pearl watching. And he'll head back to the free throw line.
That was a great ball movement, too. See A.J. Johnson take off. Throw it down. Mintz thought about it, but at the last minute he realized, I think I should sit this one out.
And Johnson able to solo. Broom, 13 points to lead the way for the Sixers, has added 8 rebounds. An area where his game can improve. The free throw line was just a 59% free throw shooter last year at Auburn. Passes out the second. Both teams shooting in the mid-30s from the floor. Johnson with Edgecombe defending, skips through. Too much power on the dunk off the back of the rim. They do blow the whistle and signal the foul. It's called on Broom.
I like this drive right here. AJ challenging BJ. Then Euro steps right to the dunk attempt.
Pushing the back at the end right there is the foul.
Didn't look like much, but when you're in the air and that little push in your low back, that's just enough to throw you off.
I'll take your word for it. I've been in the air like that.
So you have been in the air like that, man?
Not like that, man.
How much in your life? Look like you might have had some bunnies back
in the day.
You could dunk.
I could turn it over and throw it down. That's about it. Nothing like Johnson.
We might need footage of that. We might need footage of that. I don't know. If
you got to go into the way back.
How far back? You're not that old for us to go way back.
I'm talking about maybe like 10 years.
Ooh, okay. You're older than you look. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. You know what they say, it don't crack.
I'll take it. Young players here looking to earn or secure their spots. Edgecombe knocked from behind. Richmond gets the steal. Transition, eyes up, retreats, accelerates, floats, and Bona vacuums it in. 8 minutes to play, 3-point game. Salas from Wake Forest using the beautiful teardrop.
Salas was just probing right there, and he He just kept probing and realized there was nobody that was going to stop him, so he got right to the floater.
A Philly steal. Bona leading the break. Edwards tries to get his own board and does. Uses the push shots.
Didn't push it quite enough.
Yeah, the arc didn't quite have enough on it.
The floater didn't quite float.
Another Philly steal. This time Salas goes right at the big. Edgecombe can't tip it. Ball took that extra bounce on the rim, which threw off Edgecombe's timing. And a foul in the backcourt. And that thumb sprain after his Salt Lake Summer League opener. Missed the next two in Salt Lake. Missed the first two in Vegas. His first game in Sin City.
Right there, that's a little bit of a frustration foul. Trying to make something happen.
Turnovers at each side. Starting to skyrocket here. Demir Watkins, he has 8 steals for the Wizards.
Oh, wow.
Inside, Johnson gets it off the glass.
Johnson's had some pretty good drives out here lately.
8 steals is the Summer League record for steals in a game. So he's tied 3 other players. Edgecombe, a healthy 3, back iron. Ball ricochets to Aluma, who had a strong first half. Again, another air ball. We're getting towards double digits in shots that have not hit the rim.
Right here, look at Johnson. Going right by Aluma. Aluma tries to take the charge. Johnson with the great drive, sidesteps him just enough to get the easy 2.
Wizards can tie it with a 3. Watkins won't fall. Edgecombe skips across the timeline. Bona rolls, Edgecombe fakes, takes to the rim, but shorts.
Yeah, like I said, you can tell Edgecombe is just getting back. He's just a step slow tonight.
2 for 11 shooting.
Yeah, the touch just isn't quite there. And we've seen like this in Summer League before. Nothing to overreact to, Philly fans. We've seen a lot of guys who have offensive foul. We've seen a lot of great players not have incredible Summer League debuts. Not indicative of the type of player that they're going to be in the future.
Progressive makes it easy to get a quick commercial auto quote online, so you can get back to all your other to-dos.
Making an impact offensively. 8 steals in this game ties a Summer League record. Wreaking havoc defensively.
Like I said, everybody comes in the Summer League talking about offense and making shots trying to make a team. But you keep getting 8 steals or being active like that in the passing lane, somebody will pay attention to what you're doing.
The others, Cam Whitmore, who's now a member of the Wizards, Donovan Mitchell, Justin Dentman. And now Demir Watkins, and still some time with just under 6 minutes left. 11 is the NBA record in regular season games for steals. Bump on the pass. We'll stay on this end. Sixers lead by 3. B.J. Edgecombe called for the last foul. That's his second.
Got a tight one coming down the stretch. Which one of these teams is going to execute better? We obviously know the summer league, these guys haven't had a lot of time to play and practice and get comfortable with one another.
Johnson navigates off the screen, triggers the mid-range. Broom volleys and gets it himself.
Maybe Philly should give Broom some looks inside, see if he can generate some offense through his low post game.
Sets the down screen for Edwards. Flares, puts it on the deck, loses it. Shot clock down to 5.
Gotta go.
It'll be Hunter Salas. Front rim, and Johnson elevates.
Robbins is inside. He's calling for it. Johnson didn't see it. All he saw was the rim.
He has 15 points in this game, looking for more. Broom leads the Sixers with 14. Edgecombe ball fake. He has that mismatch against Robbins. He took it right at him earlier on in this half.
But this time you see the Wizards reacting and helping. As soon as Edgecombe went to line up Robbins, you saw Leaky Black cross the lane, show his numbers as A.J. Johnson gets the foul and the and one. But going back to that previous possession, Leaky Black realized what the mistake was before. As we take a look at A.J. Johnson getting out in transition, getting a nice and one. What I was saying is Leaky Black understood Robbins was on the island before against Edgecombe. This time he crosses the lane, shows his numbers, and lets Edgecombe know, if you want to drive, you're going to come into the teeth of the defense, you have to make a pass. Help his big fella out.
Smart defender.
Yes.
And the team-oriented scheme. So Johnson, a chance to tie it. Had 11 points off the bench in 21 minutes. Last time out in their win against the Nets. Ties this one at 56. Tie game, under 5 minutes left. See how these players handle crunch time minutes.
I'll tell you, we're getting some good ball pressure out there by Richmond.
Crossover Broom, defended by Watkins. Lefty floater, well wide. Didn't hit rim. Shot clock does not reset, and Edgecombe will head to the line. Possession that was going nowhere for the Sixers. They get Edgecombe to shoot 2.
That possession was a little bit disjointed and thrown off. Richmond's defense really had Philly discombobulated early on in the possession, but Edgecombe with the hustle was able to turn it into 2 free throws.
Long Island Lutheran for his last couple of years of high school. Played for Scott Drew at Baylor for a season. 15 points, 5 boards, 3 assists per game. Let's see his numbers in his first Vegas game. It's been tough for him from distance and at the rim. 0 for 5 from 3.
Like you said, he's coming back first game from a thumb injury. Hasn't had a chance to play in the previous games in the summer league, so he's just trying to get his footing, get his rhythm.
Curling Watkins pulls it front and rim. 4 minutes to go.
And Broom has a mismatch inside against Johnson.
He wants it, but first a travel on Salas. And again, it started from the pressure defense from Watkins.
Yes, and like I said, that pressure defense, you don't let the guy get comfortable out there. If you see him out on the perimeter, you understand he's trying to run the offense, pressure him, challenge him, make him do something with the ball. Sometimes it can work in your favor, and it just did.
Not much movement at all on this possession.
Very stagnant.
Riley Johnson turns it up, but stepped on the baseline.
I'm not sure what the Wizards were running right there, but I can tell you that's not it. Whatever the play was, scrap it. We need, like right there, you need more, as you see him, as Johnson's going to step out of bounds right there. Yeah, easy call. But you need ball movement. You want that ball to move side to side. You want to pick and roll, kick it back, have that ball, everybody touch it. Those are really good possessions. When you see that ball move side to side, maybe end up in a corner three, that's when you know that you're getting a good ball movement.
Edwards knocks it down, and Philly takes the 5-point lead.
Like Philadelphia did right there. You want to know if you're running some good offense? Count how many times you get wide open corner threes. That'll let you know.
Black, the answer. Box out from Bona to get the rebound. Edgecombe with the ball in his hands. Crunch time minutes. Screen and roll with Bona. And Edgecombe navigates.
Nice. They ran that pick and roll a little bit high. Robbins had to come out there, and he just could not compete with the foot speed of Edgecombe, and Edgecombe attacked him right away. B.J. Edgecombe on the move for the tough deuce. 7-0 run for the Wiz.
At AT&T,
ESPN tonight, Portland, New Orleans, 10 Eastern. NBA TV next, Golden State and Memphis. And then tomorrow on ESPN2, it's Kings Cavs, 3:30 Eastern, followed by the Bucks and the Bulls. Janai Broom for the Sixers has a team-high 14, also 10 rebounds in one of his best, if not the best, performance of Summer League, both in Salt Lake and now here in Vegas. Johnson, who has scored all 9 in the fourth quarter for the Wizards. In and out, Bona is bumped. And fouled from behind by Liam Robbins.
He's going to go to the line for some free throws as well. Or maybe not.
Still a few more team fouls before we get to the penalty situation, but another look, Bona. Second-round draft pick a season ago, and had his minutes increase.
I like that.
As things went off the rails for the Sixers in the second half of the season.
I like him. He's the type of guy that just brings energy, effort, understands what he does well.
Justin Edwards has been shooting it well. He showed that form down the stretch of the season and has also shot it well in Summer League. That is 10 in a row for the Sixers. Watkins across the lane. Bona altered that one.
I'll tell you what, Bona has had a major presence defensively in the paint. A lot of times it's been block shots, and sometimes it's not the block shot, it's shots that he changes.
So to Lauren with more.
Yeah, guys, this is a guy this season that's been really loud, and it's been on purpose. He's calling out coverages, directing his teammates, anchoring the defense. And he said, I've always wanted to be loud, make my presence felt. Doesn't matter what game, we've got to talk. We could talk more after the break, guys. What do you think?
Keep it right here is that three-pointer by B.J. Edgecombe leads to the Wizards timeouts. You mentioned Bona and the communication he thrives at defensively, blocking shots 7 points, 8 boards, the numbers.
But that's not the most important number. The most important number is 6 block shots.
And then VJ Edgecombe, 15 points all in the second half.
And VJ Edgecombe really bounced back from a subpar performance in the first half, stepping it up in the second half, showing why he was the number 3 pick and why Philadelphia is ecstatic to have this young man on their roster.
Let's check in again with Lauren.
Yeah, guys, I was talking to Edgecombe earlier today and said, has any of the vets reached out to you since you got to the team? He said, yeah, Paul George, they had a really, really great conversation. Says he talks to Tyrese Maxey a ton. They text a lot. Joel Embiid has reached out as well. I said, you know, as a rookie, usually there's 1 or 2 guys that take you under their wings. He said everyone has been really welcoming, especially those big 3 guys, which is really important for this team.
That's huge because we have some questions about what this Philadelphia culture is. And we understand you can win without good culture, but it becomes extremely difficult. The degree of difficulty is harder when the culture is not good. So I like the fact that the vets are reaching out. It looks like they're trying to repair what this culture is rumored to be, and they're going out of their way to let the young fella know that they're happy to have him on the roster, and they're going to show him the way.
It's been a theme of the 76ers' most recent few draft picks, even going back to Maxey, is not only drafting good players, but people that coaches and the guys around them rave about.
Yeah, like I said, being a good person, having a good culture is huge. Having the guys get along is huge because when you get through the course of the season, the dog days, you're spending more time with these guys than you are your family. You're traveling, you're practicing, you got games, you're eating all these meals together, you're doing stuff on the road together. So making sure you have a guy that's a good guy like VJ Edgecombe on the roster, that means a lot.
Edgecombe, that one hit glass first. So a goaltend.
That was a goaltend, but he gave you a little glimpse of what he brings defensively. That's one of them old school LeBron James type chase down blocks. Didn't quite get it, but he's showing you it's in his package.
Being with that footwork, lining it up. And then the vertical explosion. Just a beat too late. Crunch time run from Philadelphia. Remember, this game was tied earlier on in the fourth quarter. And a 13-0 run was capped off by the Edgecombe 3. To give Philly the advantage, and 1:15 away from their first win in the Las Vegas Summer League. And Justin Edwards puts on the finishing touches.
That'll just about do it.
9 in the fourth quarter for Edwards. A.J. Johnson in and out. So it was a tough first 20 minutes for Edgecombe specifically and for the Sixers. But use a strong fourth quarter kick. Led by Edgecombe, who now has 15 points, second on the team in scoring behind Edwards. All 15 for Edgecombe since halftime. Mixed bounces, Bona there. Right before the shot clock horn. It is an 18-2 Philadelphia crunch time run.
I tell you what, offensively, Philadelphia started to pick it up, and defensively, they really just turned the Wizards' water off here late in this fourth quarter.
As Edgecombe gets it across the timeline, Brendan, your kind of final thought of the first Vegas game for the number 3 pick?
A little bit of a struggle offensively. Showed a lot of promise on the defensive end and made some explosive plays that shows you what type of athlete that he is.
74-58. It's Philadelphia meets Washington in the first Vegas game for BJ, who in the second half showed why he was the 3rd overall pick.